100%. What? What's that sound? Where? It's aliens and they're living in your town. Damn. They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town.
Good evening, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land. It's the Weird Whatever podcast, and we got a full team, and it's so nice. And this could be our last one of the year, but I'm not going to say it's definite because I'm going to be around during the holiday break for at least a week or so. So if you knuckleheads want to get weird over here, you let the bird know, and we will fly.
Always.
I love it. We got Beckett. How you doing tonight?
Doing fantastic.
We got some Beckett Tech-It stuff tonight we're going to talk about. You got called out, though, last week. You want to just get into that real quick?
Sure.
Here, Beckett's camera.
I get called out.
Invisible for a second.
Well, it's great. Let him read this while my camera's off.
Beckett's invisible? Okay. Dear Weird and Whatever. I want to call out Beckett. Y'all bragged and teased about Beckett having his own tech segment. Then when Jaybird asked him for a segment, Beckett doesn't have his shit together. What the fuck, Beckett? Shame, shame. Know your name. Travis.
That's probably my buddy Travis.
Maybe.
Probably
I like
calling
it.
me out. Travis in Wellington.
He's keeping you honest. We're going to get to your segment a little bit later. Vicky, how the hell are you doing?
Trying to survive
All right,
until we're out of school.
What's wrong with school? Just are the kids just...
It's a few days before Christmas.
I mean, it's right.
with a bunch of elementary school kids.
Little kids get senioritis too because they know it's coming.
They lose their mind.
Yeah.
And it's testing. All we're doing is testing.
Ooh,
testing,
the test
testing,
right before
testing.
break.
That's kind of... I don't know if I like that. Testing before the holidays? That's kind of horse shit, no?
It is the end of the semester.
The testing that just a brief thing, we were told there was going to be less testing when they got rid of FSA. There's actually more testing because now we test 3 times a year instead of 1 time a year. And then other grades, they also have a 5th grade test on top of that. So, yeah.
Wow, a lot of horse shit out there, Danny.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Danny, you doing good over there?
I'm doing well. I think we got us up. I apologize for that. For some reason, Beckett turned invisible. I got him back, though.
I like it.
Well, it's very...
It's my superpower.
Very mystical, very weird and whatever. The importance of asking somebody how they are doing. Let's break into a little mental health to start it off. Then we'll get some Ask Vicky going on. I think it's important, especially people in your circle, your loved ones, your really close friends, to ask how they're doing, but not to do that in a flippant way. To really ask, hey, Beckett, how you doing? And listen and be there for a friend or a family member. I know that can open up a can of worms because there's some people that will just diarrhea of the mouth and they'll take your ear for about an hour and a half. But I do think it's important we do that more. Say, hey, Vicky, how's everything going in your life for real, though? Not Vicky on the microphone. How is your life going on? Are you struggling? Is there anything you need help with? I don't think we do that enough, and I think it's because we are caught up in our own horse shit, which I completely understand. But just a little food for thought. I think that'll help you with yourself. Thoughts?
It helps you by asking.
I think when you ask somebody how they're doing and it forces you to listen, I think it also helps yourself too.
Oh, 100%.
I think it's good for your soul. It nurtures your soul. It teaches you how to be a better listener, which I think a lot of times when it comes to people going through something, 90% of the time, they just want to ear.
Yeah.
Just to kind of vent on.
Well, I used to think it was BS when I was young because I heard like Tony Robbins and people say, oh, it's the most rewarding to give, you know what I mean? But I've experienced it, whether it was with my dogs or helping someone at work or helping a family member or whatever. Gosh, maybe as I got older, more mature, it feels so much better to help someone than to like get a cool gift. Like that's like a short-term sugar high for me. But when I think like I move the needle professionally for someone or personally or family member, it's so rewarding. And what I think happens way too much when you mention flippant, people ask how you're doing, but they don't even stay to hear the answer. They're either moved on to the next question or they walked away. It almost becomes like a high.
A formality.
It's a rhetorical question.
It's an empty pleasantry. Hey, how's it going?
How's
Beckett?
it going,
How's
man?
the weather? It's
Yeah.
kind of I'm saying consciously ask that question and really listen. But I think you got to be in the right state of mind. I don't think you should do that when just to do it either. I think it's something you got to consciously work on. Thoughts, Vicky?
When you're a person that people come to with their problems, you're the person that wants us, comes People are always asking you, can you do this? Whether it's my position as a CTA rep at school, whether it's because of a reading, if it's because of a paranormal issue. I find that I'm not often on the receiving end of someone saying, you know what, how are you today? Like, we always come to you with all our problems. How are you actually doing?
And here's my question. Vicky, how the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
We don't have to turn this into a big, Tony Robbins TED Talk here. I'm just saying, I think it's a two-way street for the positive on helping everyone out a little bit. And I'm not saying you got to do that with everybody, but your close circle, your friends, and do it with a consciousness of really trying to listen and hear and be a better listener.
Well,
I know I can be better.
Well, you hear a lot of people that are close to people that took their own life, and they regret not checking in more.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you hear people like, I didn't even know they were depressed.
Ellen's DJ, I forget his name.
Crazy.
What was his name? I apologize. No disrespect. What is Twitch? Yeah, Twitch. People said he was always so happy and doing the TikTok dances. None of that matters. All that stuff. You can fake a smile.
Mm-hmm.
You can fake laugh. You can do all that. But you wonder on a situation like that. Did anybody know? Was there any signs? Did you talk? Did he say any kind of?
Did he give a clue of any sort?
Yeah. In retrospect, looking back, I don't know. It's a good point there, Beckett.
People listen to respond, not listen to learn. And that's
There
part
you
of the
go,
problem.
Wow, that's gonna be tough. Tough
Oh,
quote
that's
to
good.
beat for the night.
I'm gonna ponder that tonight. I like that.
I'm gonna drink to that, Vicky. Salute to Vicky. All right, Vicky, let's get into some Ask Vicky questions.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
I got the rest of the band joining in.
Becky came in with
The singer was taking a shot. I apologize. We got some Ask Vickies. We like to ask Vicky these ghost-like, psychic medium type questions. Vicky, my family and I think we have a ghost trapped in our TV like the movie Poltergeist. What should our next step be?
What makes them think that something's trapped in their TV?
I knew you were going to ask that. It was a lengthy email because when the TV is off, they hear voices coming out of it.
I don't think anything's trapped in their TV like Poltergeist. I would say whatever is there is probably using the energy from the TV.
Okay.
And using it to communicate.
So what's their next step?
Depends on who is doing the talking.
They don't like what's going on. They're creeped out by it.
Point paranormal.
Yeah. I mean, everything that I do for Point Paranormal is free. So if they are that concerned and they want to find out what's going on and possibly find a solution, they could just send me an email.
But do me a favor, when you have Vicky come out there with her team, ask her how she's doing for good.
Yeah.
Started off with that.
Is there a Vicky Light that they could do before, like, say they live in California or New York?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that because they are out of state.
Okay. So what they could do if first and foremost, they should try to ignore it. Because the more attention you give it, the more likely it's going to grow in power. So that's the first thing.
Okay, what happens if you're walking by and the ghost goes, "Hey, what's up, Dickless? Hey, Dickless, getting eggs again,
Yeah.
Dickless?"
I mean,
you ignore that.
You try to ignore it as much as you can. And if that doesn't work,
personally.
if that doesn't work, you set down rules. So let's just say that the spirit that's there, it's waking up your child at 3 o'clock in the morning. You say, listen, I know you're here. Stop waking up my kid. You give them a set of rules.
Okay, Dickless, go eat your eggs now.
Yeah. But one thing that you don't do is you don't pick up the sage and randomly start cleansing your house.
You don't go sage against the machine?
No.
What about lemongrass? You like lemongrass?
I like lemongrass as long as sweetgrass. I like sweetgrass as long as it's done the right way.
Oh, I see.
If you were forced to write a song,
I do like the restaurant Lemongrass, though. My son works there.
if you were forced to come up with a hook or a melody called Sweetgrass, a folk style, and if you don't do it, I was to get they shoot me. What would be that melody? Or are you not going to play my games?
I'm not playing.
I'm
your
getting
game.
shots. Damn, Dickie Vicky's in the house. No folk melody from Vicky. All right, another question from the audience. Are you able to go to the next level if you commit suicide, or is this something that you can let's say you do, because it was, again, a lengthy email. The person had committed suicide, and they feel like that they had moved on to the next level. That's always the message they got. When someone does commit suicide, is it ever possible they commit suicide and they don't have to do any extra schooling? They go to another level?
What I have been shown, and again, I always tell people I don't pretend like I know everything. I'm just speaking my truth of what I've been shown. I do think I think more often than not, the person who commits suicide does not end up going to a classroom. If you believe that there's someone who created this, who is a greater power, they know what you struggled with. They know if you had mental illness. They know if you were abused. They know all of that. And I don't think they would punish you further for you not being able to stay on this earth a little bit longer.
Okay.
Everything's on a spectrum because, suicide is a word that is all encompassing, right? So if you have stage 5 cancer, and this is a big debate, and we do it for our animals, we describe it as the humane thing to do, to put a dog out of its misery rather than hold on to a dog, when the time is there. But for some reason, we can't do it for our next of kin. And it's legal, more importantly. But technically, you could call that suicide, right? Because you decided there's no coming back from this. You're going to become incontinent. You're going to, whatever. And you're like, listen, I don't want my kids and my family. Like, I'm going to be in pain. Like, if I get to that point, so technically, by definition, that's suicide, right? Like, 'cause you're taking your own life or whatever the case may be.
I can see that.
So you would think, to Vicky's point, a higher power, in my opinion, would understand that.
I think, too, it all depends on your circumstances. If you had terminal cancer and you were suffering with pain, I think it's more, for the people who are living, I think it's easier to digest that than if all of a sudden you just took your life out of the blue. We didn't really know. That's
You didn't try to get help.
Yeah,
right?
that's just,
you didn't scream for help.
It's a different set of circumstances. I think that if it happened to my family, they both are sad situations, but I would look at them a little bit differently.
Well, like, to me, the different situation would be, let's just say you were a serial killer and you hurt all these people, and then you don't want to go to jail, so you kill yourself. You're going someplace to learn your lesson. That's a different case as opposed to someone with mental illness or had extenuating circumstances that committed suicide.
Well, let me ask you this then. Let's say you have a serial killer who had horrible mental illness, and they're out there. They were beaten as a kid. They were terrible. They were tortured as a kid, and they had mental illness, and they grew up to be a horrific, just the lowest of the low, and then they end up dying. They, as a kid, they weren't shown those set of tools. They weren't loved. They were completely abandoned and fucked over. Do we not have, and I'm only asking the question,
right.
Do we not have sympathy? Is there they didn't know, blah, 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 as a kid, and they had, does that look at a certain set of circumstances?
It could well be. It could even be, there's also, I've seen different lengths of time that you stay in the classrooms. So you could have anywhere on that spectrum where someone in a short time in this, or, they're years in this classroom trying to learn their way. And thankfully, I'm not in charge of any of that. So whoever is in charge of that takes care of that when they go to the other side. But what happens, the bad part, is that many earthbound spirits are spirits who committed suicide because they think there's punishment on the other side. And that is what is so heartbreaking, is that they choose, when that light comes, they choose not to go to it because they're worried about what's going to be on that other side.
You still have those kind of thoughts when you've passed on. You still have the anxiety,
You have a choice, yeah. You have, and when that light comes, if you have been taught from day one that suicide is wrong and that it's a sin, and then you commit suicide, that's going to actually be in your consciousness.
Let me ask you this then. Do you always go to the light? If you die and let's say we're all,
as a rule of thumb.
Yeah, just if we find ourselves in that situation, maybe we kick into the Vicky knowledge and go, all right, I'm dead and I have anxiety. That light's scaring me. Do we go to the light, or can the light fuck you over as well? Is there a trick light?
No, you need to. What you create by staying here as an earthbound spirit, you create your own hell. What you need to do is go to the other side, take care of everything that needs to be taken care of. Eventually, you will earn your freedoms. and that freedom includes coming back and forth in visitation. But if you choose to not go to the light, I believe that is your own form of hell that you have created yourself by being stuck here.
Are you able to get out of that hell? Mm-hmm. So, do you believe in hell?
This is hell.
It's great news.
This is hell. A lot of Native Americans believe that our time that we spend here on Earth is actual hell. I have never been shown hell in an other side scenario.
Denny's, we're hearing things other side, afterlife, hell here now.
I've heard
Thoughts?
that before. I mean, I think it's in religions to feel that we are here suffering now, and that I guess nirvana would be the next phase, the heaven that you would get to.
Yeah, technically we are. I mean, when you really think about it, there is a form of suffering that we're all not going to escape, and it happens with each day you're on the planet. You get youth when you're born, that gets taken away. You get loved ones and friends, and as you go, they get taken away. It is kind of a weird, fucked up kind of ride we're on. A lot of great things, don't get me wrong. I love Earth. I love it. So if this is the worst, I'm ready to go to that next level.
So if heaven is just the greatest, right? Everybody's just feeling so good all the time, right? That's what it is, I'd imagine. Everybody's in their purest, blissful state. I feel for you to feel suffering, there would have to be some sort of disparity. There'd have to be good, bad, light, dark, warm, cold, right? And that's what creates your yearning for the one over the other. So, I mean, I guess that would make sense that in hell you would have access to both. In a true hell, you would just not be able to ever obtain the one. So, I mean, you could say that, I guess, in life you could come across that. But it's also there's people that go through life without any effort or issue or turmoil.
But would you
Or so
argue?
it seems.
Would you
So it
argue? That's
seems.
what my question is. Do you know they're not going through a hell?
Well,
though?
so
of,
I think
of sorts.
the human condition by nature, I think we just are designed to suffer. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, even if things are going good, some humans will create things that are bad, or they'll make their own problems. Even in the best situations, I think people just eventually will get bored or they get tired, and then they create maybe not a problem, but something that could.
They create an issue. Yeah, boredom will, without a doubt, create some unnecessary drama in your life.
Well, they say idle hands are the work of the devil.
They
You
are.
wonder if that is the torture, is that the hell, is that since we have the choice, we're cursed by the choice.
And when you say that, I mean it more of just not like the real devil. It does make you
Whatever the devil is.
Yeah, it just makes you it gets you off your game, man. If you're too fucking bored.
So I've never heard a good answer, I don't think anyone has, as the meaning of life. And the best answer that I have heard is that the higher power, whatever you believe in, is giving your own sandcastle to build, right? And I thought about that, and he goes, listen, unless your psyche changes in heaven or whatever you believe in, perfect's boring. People like overcoming issues or problems or whatever, and then that is the happiest we are, right? I've achieved things that didn't take a lot of work. That was a good achievement. It didn't feel as good as sometimes equal or lesser achievements that I put everything into and was a ton of work. And then I got done with that thing. I was like, oh my, I was so proud of that thing. You know what I mean? And I thought about, you want to build your own sandcastle. So if you just live in perfect perpetuity with no grittiness, no challenges to overcome, again, maybe your psyche changes and you love that. But I think that way we're at least wired earthbound, you got to have bad to appreciate the good, And I think once you start thinking about that, like, it's our life to create, both to create what we want and to react to things that we don't want. And it's brutal. Life can be brutal, but life can be beautiful too. And then it's like our opportunity to create and react how we want. And that's the best answer I've heard to it.
I like it. Good stuff. Vicky, one last question for you. Well, this is from me. Now, we've got the one female ghost that we know that's here. She clearly knows you are a psychic medium, that we have a connection, and there's something. Wouldn't you say, if you had to guess, she knows you're a female in my life that's either protecting or we're on the same team? Am I off to think that?
No, and she wouldn't have any jealousy issues for me.
Now, when we all got to hang out as a show after the podcast on Thursday. We were having a great. I had a great
That was a
time.
blast.
Oh yeah,
Saturday.
bumping music.
Saturday, yeah, we were bumping music. We were just getting turned, having a great time. Those ghosts, the ones that know you're my Tangina from Poltergeist, like, oh, here comes Bird's protector. They saw you chilling and cutting up with us. Do they react differently? Are they taking note? Are they watching you going, look at this bee fucking sticking around?
What's happening here?
You're letting her hair down, taking a button down. Are they? Does any of that ever happen? If you being my Tangina, and if you don't know what that is, that's the
House is clear.
the
Yeah, from The Exorcist.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
That's
She
it.
was the ghost woman from Poltergeist, the guru.
Is she in Teen Witch as well?
She is in Teen Witch. Vicky's
right.
my Tangina. I love that. I'm gonna call you Tangina all night tonight. But yeah, none of that changes because you typically you do a walkthrough. You're professional when you're here. Then all of a sudden we get
But I wasn't.
Vicky Gone Wild.
Yeah, but I wasn't drinking and doing a walkthrough of your house. It was a completely different scenario. If I were to take a couple shots and go, oh, I'm going to do a walkthrough now, that would be disrespectful to them. I was not working at the time that I was doing the shots and stuff.
Okay. So they don't give a shit what you're doing then.
She's fine.
I think what Jaybird's asking, so I'll give you an analogy or metaphor. Imagine I had a guy that picked on me all the time at school. Then I brought my buddy for a week that was visiting, that was in SEAL Team 6. And he's hanging out with me. He's drinking, he's doing whatever. But those guys are going to be a little bit more hesitant to mess with you. Even though my guy doesn't have his gun on him, he's not ready to fight,
Yeah.
he's not going in. But they know the presence of the SEAL guy.
She's a fucking SEAL.
She's a SEAL
she's
Team
a SEAL,
6.
and she's not acting SEAL-like, which is great.
She's special forces, but they know that she's in tune with things,
Yeah.
right? But she's not like on the clock, so to speak, right? Like
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
That. Yeah.
but do when you leave though, are they go? All right, SEAL team left. Now let's be a little more pissy, and that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
When you leave, does that make it a different kind of disturbance? Do they get a little bit more ginned up, going, Tangina is up in here, fucking throwing her spiritual bullshit in our face. Now we're gonna really fuck with Bird. We're gonna fuck his iPhone up.
Well, that's the same thing with an investigation. It's a 50-50. After I leave, is it going to be quiet or is it going to be rowdy? It just depends on the impression I made on them. Did they leave me their voice on the recorder? They're probably going to be quiet for a few days. I have this one house that I go to, I've been going to for years. She constantly has things in and out because she has portals and stuff. And every time I go there, they just want my attention. I go and I do my sessions and I say this, I say that. I'm like, hey, I'm here. And literally the house will be quiet for weeks afterwards. So it's a 50-50. If you go into someplace and you are mean and disrespectful, oh yeah, it's going to go off when that person leaves. But as far as my I just won't stay for shots anymore.
Get the hell out of here! No way. If you say that, I'm canceling Weird Little I'm gonna put that on you. No, that was I had a great time.
Yeah,
stuff like that. I always talk about the spaghetti dinner back when I played sports before a big game. They do a team spaghetti dinner, and it was just the parents would be involved, the kids would be involved. It's camaraderie, baby. It's getting everyone just feeling like a family.
Dare I say it's like Top Gun 2, where
Dare it.
they had
Do it. Do it, Maverick.
they
hold that.
had to fly this very tough mission, and one of Tom Cruise's character's roles was to make them work as a team. So John Hamm's character came to the beach when they were playing double offense football. John Hamm, as the general or whatever he was like, what's going on here? Why aren't you guys training? You guys are going to get deployed in 2 weeks. He goes, you told me to build a team. And you look over the beach, and the guys were, like, holding each other up in the air because they scored a touchdown, right? Like, it's the camaraderie. It's the building of the team. And even though they weren't in a jet doing practice drills and stuff like that, him as an instructor was like, this is what's important. You know?
Well,
Yeah.
buckle up, fuck faces. We're bringing the pig skin and we're going to the beach. We're recreating that scene.
Do the
We're-
volleyball scene.
Yeah, we are building a team.
Give me a
here.
few weeks to go off carbs.
Oh, whatever. I look like
Yeah.
I look like
Come on.
I look like teenage Santa. He's not quite in his fucking body yet, but he's working on that fucking first
Oh my god.
trimester.
I've been letting it go.
Here's a fun little story. Then we're gonna call Ponton up to the stage after we play this clip. A Florida woman who recently lost her husband found a bottle with the note in it on a beach she was cleaning up. She felt it was a sign, and it turns out the note was written 20 years ago by a man who is friends and that works with her son. Her name's Kathy Grace. This is her talking about it.
Michael's like, you're not going to believe this. Roman and I went to college, and we both work at DHL. And here's a picture of us out in California with DHL last year on the beach. And we had goosebumps. We were like, how could it be of all of the millions of people that have been on Fort Myers Beach since this was buried? And I find it, and within minutes, we know who it was.
I mean, that's such a coincidence.
That's pretty fucking crazy, right? I love those messages in a bottle. I think it's a cool concept. I know it's not great for the environment. I think.
Well, it turns to sea glass. It's fun to collect.
We have way better problems than messages in a bottle.
You're right. There's so much other worse.
You're right. You're right. Well, the last time I said that, I got crucified on the air from Kevin in Virginia.
If I'm an environmentalist, that's the thing I'm gonna let go. You know, we got bigger fish to fry than
The plastics.
we got all
The
kinds of issues.
microplastics.
Frying fish too. It's a problem. No, I'm just kidding. Mr. Ponton, come up to the stage real quick. I know we talked briefly about this, and we didn't read these messages in a bottle because they were quite depressing. They both, if you missed this segment, they were two of the same types of bottles, okay, with the same type of a notepad, okay, but different handwriting. But they clearly, in my opinion, came from the same person. But it is weird. Ponton?
No, I believe it was actually it was July 12th. I don't know, 11:35 p.m. I know because I was live posting it on Instagram, what was happening around me. And it was the mother of the man who died in, I believe, a car accident, and then his girlfriend who, when he died, was pregnant with their child.
So those the two separate
Those were the
ones.
two separate
And they were
notes.
together then?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I think it was the mother. It was technically would have been her mother-in-law, and then the one who lost her soon-to-be husband and father of her child.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, writing the message in a bottle is a spiritual thing. Whether someone finds it or not, it's kind of like you break up with somebody and you burn the sweater. Like, fuck this. It's a freeing kind of a thing. Writing your feelings down, putting it in a bottle, and chucking it out into the ocean is a great thing to get some shit off your chest.
Oh, yeah. They both talked about what he meant to them. I believe his name was Travis. And they really honored him really well in both of those notes.
What are your thoughts about that, Becky? You like the old message in a bottle kind of a thing? Keep in mind, that was the way people communicated back in the day, which is fucking insane.
I do like it. I think it's cool. I mean, the good thing about it is it doesn't happen super frequently. If all of society in the world just started throwing Heinekens with bottles with messages in them, it'd be a problem, right?
Yeah.
But for the very small amount of people, relatively speaking, that do it, I think it's a beautiful thing. And remember, glass is made from sand, right? Like, that's how glass is made.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of a...
These were miniature mason jars, so they were going to last for a while. I mean,
Yeah,
I found a jar that floated in
surprised-
from Cuba.
Dude, if a whale ate it, it would die. It would take a while to die.
It's amazing in and of itself. It doesn't sink. A bottle with the mouth, like, so that means like they sealed the bottle, right? And so just the fact that something made it that long is in and of itself amazing.
Have you guys ever done that after a breakup or burn something to feel the finality of it?
Maybe a J.
Burning a J.
Burn the hell out of that, Jay. You did that Saturday night, too.
Ponton, did you find anyone 69ing this weekend?
Nothing like that.
Get out there, son.
That's so
I
boring.
took the week off pretty much. It's been pretty slack for my ass.
Did you not go to the beach?
Only 2 days this week.
Is there a reason for that?
I slept a little bit. I actually slept 5 hours last night. It's the first time in 2.5 months I've slept more than 3 hours.
And I'm going to practice what I preach.
Yeah.
Joe Ponton, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, brother. Thank you for asking.
You are welcome. Everything's going good.
We finished recording our first song today, my writing partner, my best friend, and I, and it was a lot of fun. So
Your
yeah.
Denny's?
Yeah, my Denny's.
There you go. Old Joe Ponton. Good
Thanks,
stuff
guys.
as always, brother. Keep looking out for some 69, and we love 69 in stories.
Love it as long as what I saw the other night. I don't ever see it again.
69 boys.
I feel like I'm the only one talking 69 these days. No one in broadcasting talks 69ing. It's just me, Denny's.
Well,
You're
yeah,
just
what?
keeping it alive out there.
How come you could talk about so many other things, but then all of a sudden that's taboo?
Well,
you
no.
guys will bring it up.
No, we can talk. I guess what I'm saying is I
I'm
feel
thinking
like
society.
I feel like nobody likes 69ing. Every time we talk about it, I do get couples that will send me a message. Bird, me and my wife, 69. We've been married 19 years. I'm like, oh, cool. Keep at it, dog.
It's hot.
That's just like saying, like, some people just like to have their back scratched. Other people like to
69.
reciprocate it, right? So it is like, it's somewhat romantic in a way.
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's the
you're both
perfect-
taking care of each other.
Baby,
at
you're
the
saying
same
all the
time.
right words.
A perfect connected symbol.
I'll get us back on track. Vicky, I mean,
No, I don't because if you're busy performing, it's hard to feel the performance.
okay, multitasking. I get
Yeah.
it. I get it.
Well, it doesn't, pun intended, it doesn't have to be a hard and fast rule, right? It doesn't mean you can't perform solo, but every once in a while, like, you can mix it up.
You know,
Throw a breather in there.
I've noticed Josh over there gets awfully quiet when we bring up 69 in.
I don't know if I get
You're not a,
wider.
you're not a 69.
You guys just have so much extensive
You're not a
knowledge.
69 guy?
Dude, I mean, it's probably the best, right?
Probably, you don't know?
I mean, it's up there in the top.
I think it rocks,
I
but
think,
look,
yeah,
look,
definitely. I think it's gained popularity over the years. Hygiene of society is much
That's
higher.
true.
Well, yeah, I think
Before hygiene was up, I don't think it was performed often.
Yeah, it's true.
look, we all got to be hashtag be cool. We all got to wash. We got to wash below. Let's wash
Yeah.
down under. Let's be cool with all that.
You always got to be prepared.
Let's have a 69 party.
hit it midday with some soap every now and then.
Denny-
After the shower is always clutch, because then you know.
Oh, definitely. And walking the dog, you get all sweaty, so you got to take a midday shower. It makes it much more likely.
Huh, that's a very specific scenario. Walking the dog.
You did just get a dog.
I
yeah,
can
let's
tell.
all walking the dog all the time. It's been hot AF.
I can tell it was such a Denny's issue. You walk the dog, your balls get sweaty.
Sweaty.
Get
you gotta
69.
take Midday shower.
Well, I think with that, it's time for some
Denny's Random Facts.
Our 69 lover, he just searches for the best factoids on the internet. Denny's, you've got a series of factoids. If they're awesome, Vicky, our educator, gives you an A. If they're terrible, she's gonna give you an F. Denny's, the floor is yours.
All right. So I teased this in the video earlier, just because I guess the numbers just blow my mind here. But it took 200,000 years for human population to reach 1 billion people. Then it only took 200 years for it to reach 7 billion. So it took 200,000 years for it to reach 1 billion, and only 200 years for it to reach 7 billion. And then it only took 11 more years for it to reach 8 billion.
People porking
We
a
hit
lot
8
more.
billion population.
We're reproducing at an alarming rate.
Medicine. People
Alarming.
weren't dying off
It's
as
just
much.
that's so many people. We're adding so much weight to the planet. You wonder if it's just going to collapse into itself.
Oh, cool. That's fun to think about. Oh, my gosh. If a 7-year-old Jaybird heard you say that, so fun.
Well, so it hit 1 billion in 1804. It hit 2 billion in 1927, 123 years later. And then it started really just going quick because it hit 3 billion in 1960. Then 74, it hit 4 billion. So it just kept kind of snowballing. But
We need to slow down.
yeah, I mean, we everything.
well, here's the scary thing. I think I just read something that reproduction across the board is on a super decline for everyone.
It
Humans
is.
in general, it's on a big decline, and we're still reproducing this much. Meaning, if it wasn't on a decline, we'd be reproducing even more.
Because even if percentage-wise it goes down, you
We
have
just
such a
have so
larger
many-
number.
Yes, if
I
the
feel-
number just keeps growing infinitum.
And I feel like, too, modern day people aren't POing anymore.
we
Pulling
got
out.
better hygiene.
People aren't pulling out.
We're 69
I
constantly
was
now.
69 at least and not pulling out.
You don't have to worry about it when you're 69.
That's, I mean,
I mean, if there's ever a slogan.
Vicky, I feel like me and Beckett brought down Denny's factoid.
Yeah, you did. And it wasn't on solid ground to begin with.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's just logical. Infant mortality decreased. modern medicine. So I'm sorry, you're starting off with a C.
Whoa.
We do have more contraception these days, though.
C
Well,
for
that's C
Which we
for
didn't have.
right?
Good point, Becky.
Doesn't mean people want
Still
to
a
use it.
C. All right, Dennis, what do you got?
So, and I guess I did not know this, but Japan uses sunflowers to clean up radiation. So when the tsunami hit Japan in 2011, they had radioactive fallout from a nearby nuclear power plant, and it contaminated 30 miles, it turned 30 miles of land around them into barren, unusable land. And then another 60 miles past that, it started radioactively showing up in the soil, and they were growing radioactive vegetation. Had radioactive milk from the cows drinking radioactive grass.
Oh, my gosh.
So these Buddhist monks came down from the mountains, and they gave them seeds because of another time that this had happened. They found that mustard seeds, amaranthus, this seed called cockscomb, and then sunflowers are all known to soak up radioactive particles. They said, in fact, if you plant a garden, it's good to plant sunflowers around them because it'll pull all the crap out of the soil. And the plant itself has a high capacity for storing radiation and just toxins in general. In fact, they even did this same thing around Chernobyl after the fallout there.
Wow.
So if you're growing a garden, it will sunflowers, plant them around your garden, and it'll soak up not only radioactive particles, but also just all the toxins in your soil.
I like it.
I love sunflowers.
I figured, and you like sunflowers.
I do, man. I want to put them in the dinosaur garden.
And then you can plant some plants in there. It should clean up that soil.
I'm a big sunflower seed guy. I think it's the baseball in me, but I'm a big sunflower seed guy.
What are you fuckers doing Saturday morning? Sunflower party. Let's plant some shit. No, never mind.
Weird, but it's funny when you think about all just the applications everything on the planet has, that sunflowers and mustard seeds would soak up radiation. What a random fact.
See, now he just saved that fact because I wasn't overly impressed, but I like the last little touch at the end. I'm going to give it a B.
Really? I thought that was fucking good. I would be the worst teacher. Yeah, kid, you get an A.
So we've talked about this before. I threw this one in for the bird, but around 300 million years ago, the Earth's mass was all conjoined together. It was known as a supercontinent called Pangaea. We all know this. But there was also a name for the giant super ocean that it was on the rest of the planet, Panthalasis. Weird. Well, anyway, so around 250 million years ago, Pangaea slowly separated into two continents known as Gondwana and Larissa, and those are the two that became, North America, South America, and then Europe, the two continents. But everybody knows Pangaea. I brought it up for the bird who looks distracted, but because we were talking extensively about Pangaea.
I love it, first of all. I love what you do. You bring a great energy. I'm sorry. Yeah, my OCD. I was fixing something in the background.
I saw that.
But
Well, anyway, we're not talking Pangaea for you.
I love Pangaea.
I know you love Pangaea.
I heard it. I thought it was great. I really did hear it.
All right, cool. So now people know the name of the ocean.
What do you think, Vicky? That's good. That's good shit.
I was distracted by you being distracted.
I apologize.
No, it's a B. It's a B. We still haven't pulled an A out yet.
So, all right, I saved this one.
But dog, Pangaea, I did. I heard it.
You just like the name.
Pangaea. I love the concept of Pangaea.
I do too.
All right, so this I actually looked into after I read this fact because I couldn't believe it. But so figs are made by wasps. Does anyone like figs here? I know Bird hates figs.
Hate 'em.
You
Like-
hate fig
I like
Newtons.
figs.
Yeah, we figured.
That's good.
Well, so let me clarify. Figs are made by fig wasps, which mate inside the fig. In
I
fact,
didn't know that.
fig is not actually a fruit. What it is it's an inverted flower that folds closed when a female wasp goes in there, and it's made to attract males to reproduce with the fig wasp there. Well, anyway.
You give me a bone piece. And I feel like you're kind of blushing as you say that.
I know. I feel like giving all these intimate details. Well, anyway, so the plants decide to trap them in there, blah, blah, blah. They reproduce, and that's what the fig is. It creates a syrupy goo to keep them in, and then the females are the only ones who survive this. They leave pregnant. They fly around, so whenever you see a fig wasp, it's a female. When it comes back, it climbs into the plant again, and then it gets eaten by the plant. And then we make fig Newtons out of that.
Okay.
It exists only for the fig wasp.
Fig Newtons suck. I hate them. I cannot express my
'cause-
hatred for fig Newtons. I
Because they're
fucking
too
hate
dry.
'em. Way too dry. Thank you, Beckett. They're too dry, and then they get all too gummy and chewy.
Yeah.
Then they have a little
Little-
weird nut.
Those
they're-
little
they're-
crispy things?
Yeah. What the fuck are those? Yeah, exactly.
Those are wasps.
I hate it, Denny's. I hate it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're fragments of wasps.
I mean, I in real time, I'm
There's
getting
some seeds in there.
I'm
too.
getting the whole fig thing right now, and I hate it. Am I the only one that hates fig Newtons?
So I used to like them. I
I
don't know
like
about it
them.
anymore.
What?
Not anymore. And Denny's just ruined
yeah,
that.
I hate them too.
You like the way they taste?
Oh, yeah, I think they're so.
Because they're not overly sweet.
Get out.
Yeah, we're eating wasp bodies.
That's my problem. But they're dry as fuck.
They're dry. It's more of a scone.
They would be delicious if I got kidnapped and they didn't feed me for 11 days. Like, oh shit, fig Newtons? That would be delicious.
You're talking the fig Newtons because fig paste you can buy.
Eh.
Yeah, I
Go
hear you. You can
go
put that
fig
on,
yourself.
You can put that on anything you want. I'm just saying.
All right, that one was an A. Because
Gross.
I never heard anything like that before.
Yeah, it's an inverted flower. It's basically a Venus flytrap that catches them, and then we just cut that, and grind it up, and then put it in fig Newtons.
Fucking Pangea, dog.
Pangea.
One more, Denny's. You're crushing it.
So 80% of all animal species on the planet have 6 or more legs, and it's mainly because we got crabs, octopus, insect life. A lot of the ones that we see have 4 legs because we see mammals and such, but 80% of all animal life on the planet has 6 or more legs.
Would you want 2 more legs, Vicky?
For what?
I don't know. Maybe you want to crawl faster.
An arm would be better, right? We'd look like centaurs with extra legs.
Would you rather have 2 extra legs, 2 extra arms, or 1 extra dick?
Where is it?
It is right next to your other dick, but 4 inches below. And it feels just as good.
I'd take
So
the
they don't
arms.
touch.
Arms are better.
You going 2 arms?
I'm going 2 arms. I'll get more
Beckett?
use out of that.
I'm going arms.
You going 2 arms?
Yeah, being like the NFL.
I guess for Vicky, please forgive me for being crass.
I mean,
2 sets of lips.
I'm going arms, okay?
I'm all arms.
I think I'm going arms too. You gotta go arms.
Yeah,
right?
arms is the best.
But I want to keep in mind your privates are 100% feeling just so great, just like your other.
you just have 2 of them.
You have 2
I
of
feel
them.
like that's so much
It's so much private.
I mean,
it's so much.
extra 3 minutes in the shower too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good thing for
Especially
society.
after you walk
You
the
know what
dog.
they say about threesomes? Someone always gets left out, and you got 2 things working on there. I like to focus.
Is that what they say about threesomes?
Yeah,
Someone always gets left out.
yeah.
Here's my question.
Not
Do-
doing it right then.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You got to do
I agree with Vicky. Yeah.
the 6699.
I don't want to get too perverted, but there's ways we can.
Oh, you can all connect and make essentially.
You can
even do the Olympic rings almost.
You can do the Connect 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or you could make it look like a braid.
Absolutely.
You guys interwoven.
Yeah, you could do the double pretzel.
You could do the Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail.
Yeah.
You guys could all just connect.
You could do the heavyweight championship with referee.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
But the referee's getting left out.
No, the referee is all involved.
It's all cuck.
It's all. The referee's
He's a
the
cuck.
There you go.
And the cuck loves being a cuck. If you're a cuck, you love being
They
a cuck.
picked that position.
Yes.
The cuck.
It's
The
consensual.
cuck loves being left out. That's the point.
Well, they want to be there for the spectation.
Exactly.
Well,
So they're included.
They're enjoying it.
Fair
They're not
enough.
left out.
I see what you're saying. Technically,
Great analysis, Denny's.
Yeah.
Denny's got me on technicality.
Do we believe in manifestation? Do we believe we can manifest our destiny? And if someone sent me a lengthy email about The Secret and how if you really practice The Secret and don't go to the level of thinking you can just think you can get a new car, there's a legit practice to manifesting things you want. And I think it's the word that scares people off. When in practicality, it's more of just kind of being organized, setting a goal, and then following through. What are your guys' thoughts?
That's really what it is. It tricks you into making a game out of. You can gamify anything, I think, and make it much easier on yourself.
So I'm in the middle in that I don't think you think it and you get a new car per se, like whether
You're
it's
right.
right away or in like 4 months or whatever. But I do believe the reason I say I'm in the middle is that you put your energy to it, you put your focus, you put your thought
You're
into
thinking about it.
and then it can seem like you just thought it and did it, and that worked. So I do believe in kind of like a middle ground, but I believe there's an explanation per se behind it. But the way I look at it is because I believe in the middle, even if the believing it made it or attributed it to it, why not factor that into something that's really important that you want?
I don't think we really give credit to how powerful our thoughts are. Our whole thinking process, even as small of a decision of making a sandwich, there's so many set of circumstances that go with every little thing in life. And we don't realize a lot of times. I know if you say it out loud, oh, the power of your thoughts are important. You know, what you bring in, you can't get out without blah, blah, blah. If you really think about that for a second, that's what drives everything is your thought. Whether you're getting up to go to the store or working on something or saying I love you, everything is a thought process. And if you're not conscious of what you're doing with that, you could be in a depressed funk. Sometimes you might be depressed or having anxiety, and you have to realize, well, what am I putting into my brain? What kind of thoughts am I constantly having? And if you're finding yourself having negative thoughts or constantly in a negative situation, you now have to have a disruptor. You have to disrupt the routine and start breaking that cycle. But I think it's something we don't realize. It's kind of a slow-moving storm where you don't concentrate on that thought. You don't concentrate on that thought. And then all of a sudden, 3 weeks later, you're all keyed up, you're all gassed up, and you don't understand why.
Well, negative thoughts are like putting weights on your body. And the more you put on, the harder it is to move, whereas positive is like putting wings on your body.
Oh, I like
So
that.
if you think of it that way, just always put wings and stop putting those weights on.
Yeah, I think it's hard work sometimes. And when I say hard work, I'm not talking you're out in the heat.
Or
and-
chopping wood.
Yeah, but I think it just takes it's so easy to go on autopilot. We all want to be on autopilot because it's just easier. It's comfortable in autopilot. But if you're not on autopilot, you're thinking about shit. You got to be aware and active. And I think that's kind of being more in the now. And I think that's something that is you have to work at that. You have to get up and consciously think about that.
Yeah, we're building our own sandcastle. Like I was saying earlier,
Bringing
right?
it back.
Yeah.
Look at this fucker.
And all we are thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
If I
That's
got if I got $1 million tomorrow and I had negative thoughts, like it's not like it doesn't matter, right? Like all we are is thoughts. Like I heard something they talked about sailing and like old cars. They like it doesn't matter how fast you go; it matters how fast you feel you're going.
It's a great point.
That's what matters, right? So the old cliche is mind over matter, right? And they did a documentary on Netflix called Happy that came out, and they studied the nation of Bhutan, and they're relatively poor relative to other countries, first world countries and whatever, but they're so happy, right? And so it's like how you arrange your thoughts, like it's your perspective. You have Maslow's hierarchy of needs met, so it all boils down to your thoughts and how you're positioning it. Not everything, but it's a huge part of it.
Well, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
There you go.
And I think it's a very it's a powerful mental shift if you're able to get there. I think you're going to see a positive shift if you are able to get there. It's work, like anything. Flossing your teeth is work. You got to do it though. If not, butter cutters.
I'll tell you a quick aside. So I wasn't passionate about my career, and I didn't grow up saying, as a little kid, I wanted to sell a condo. Like that's what I want to grow up to do. And I felt very empty in what I was doing in sales and real estate. But when I reframed it, I was doing the exact same thing. And on the broker owner side of a firm, I was like, man, and on the side, I would volunteer and I would help startups and entrepreneurs. And I was like, oh, I'm so passionate about that. I'd love to get to a certain level where I could help entrepreneurs and whatever. Nothing happened in my business or my career that physically changed. I reframed how I thought about it. I'm like, all of the realtors that work at my firm are, in essence, they're entrepreneurs. They all have different kinds of businesses or whatever. And I'm like, if I help them with their business, I'm helping entrepreneurs. So it was almost like a mini epiphany for me. I was like, wow, now I have fulfillment in doing the same thing I was always doing. And it sounds crazy and whatever, but the fulfillment that I had at the end of the day, helping different people that I viewed as entrepreneurs, to a week before, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to meet someone and talk about like how they're going to do this listing appointment or whatever. Just me reframing, doing the same thing, totally changed my fulfillment and happiness with what I was doing.
What are your thoughts, Vicky? What Becca just said.
It's all about how you look at it. I mean, literally, it's the old adage, glass half full, half empty. It's. Oh, I was going to make a joke. I was going to say, it's not 69, it's 96. It's all your perspective. It's all in how you look at it.
That's good stuff. I love it. I love it. Beckett, you had some tech stuff real quick to get to?
Yeah, so I had my good friend who's the guest at the podcast, Stevie G, a.k.a. Scuba Steve, and we visit a lot of old friends, and, we're all more or less 40, and, some of us are married, some of us are divorced, some of us are still trying to get married, and sexting was a big topic of conversation, and my buddy Steve is an Android guy. So he gets the green text messages, whole deal. And me, when I'm passionate about something, I'll sell anything, whether it's a train or, a new movie or something like that. And I was selling him on the iPhone. I was like, dude, you gotta get an iPhone. Crash detection, it could save your life, satellite SOS. The only thing that sold him? I told him he was cock blocking himself. Because when he meets a girl on a dating app or out at a bar or whatever, they're getting green text. And I was like, if I get a green text from someone I meet out, like, you're not moving forward. It's a huge red flag.
What?
Yeah.
Your
Beckett.
fucking problem.
You hate Android.
It's a huge red flag.
You're out of your mind.
So Steve, my friend,
You're out of your fucking mind.
hang on, there's science to this. So my buddy Steve isn't a big sexter. And he's a smart sapiosexual. He likes like the conversation, like whatever. I was like, how do you not sext in 2022? It's great build up. It's flirting, whether you're with your wife, your girlfriend, or someone you just met, and it's starting to like go into a sexual context. So it became very controversial about sexting. They thought I was weird because I love sexting. I think it's great build up. So I was just curious what you guys think. I think nowadays, we talk about message in a bottle. Soldiers wrote letters to their wives back home. Now we have a technology where you have instant message in a bottle.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
All right,
Get
so
right to the good stuff.
There's a lot I got to talk about.
There's a lot to unpack here.
So I agree. I like when you're able to sex with somebody and you're able to get that kind of connection. Me and Denny's have talked about it before, and I'm more like that. Denny's goes, yeah, it's not really my kind of a game. And it's a personality. I think it's just what you're into. The thing I think is insane is the fact that you think it's a red flag if someone's got a fucking Android.
Green text.
Why is that less than?
We keep people, like I had my brother's bachelor party. We had 2 friends out of 12 guys that had Androids. We kept them off the group text and just communicated them separately because they make the whole group thread green. I think Apple's being sued for this. Apple's being sued for this because
For making the other ones
they
look
picked
like
the most
unattractive
color
Yeah.
for group text.
Okay, maybe I am off on this.
What?
Maybe I'm off. Is Beckett out of his fucking mind?
I'm telling you
I
guys.
have an Android right here. I see no green.
I'm telling you
It
guys.
I don't
shows
know what
up
he's talking
green
about.
on
On
ours.
iPhones.
It shows up green on. But Vicky, look, blue or green, I love you just the same. I ain't like a Beckett.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
text.
And you
shit.
get chat bubbles. You get chat bubbles, so you know if they're
Oh, okay.
texting.
Oh,
There's
so
nothing wrong with
so
that.
here's what it comes down to. Beckett likes.
Wait,
when
now
he,
show her the blue, the pretty blue.
he,
I mean,
he
you don't
likes
need to
it.
see the
He likes
blue,
when he's
that's
hot and
right.
heavy sexting, and he's in the middle of it, and then she's sending something, and it's bubbling. He's like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god!"
it's the anticipation.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
a dopamine hit.
How about this? You're being brainwashed by Apple to buy more products and get other people to buy it by putting that green color for those of us that are using Androids. You're falling into the pit. How about that?
But hold on,
is.
but let me-
But to be fair, Vicky has a good point. But it's 2 separate things. Like sexting as like a rule, 2 Android people could sext. That's fine. I don't think it's sexy, but they could.
It's not as hot.
They can sext. It's fine.
all right.
What are people saying about
I
this?
think you're being a Texas
No, this is a
snob.
very polarizing topic. You're going to get a lot of people that will either totally agree with me or vehemently
But let me ask.
disagree with
Okay,
me.
let me ask you this: you meet a girl at a bar, and you guys are connecting. You're attracted to her. She's attracted to you. You guys maybe even steal a kiss in the nighttime, and then you guys leave, and she texts you, and it comes up green. You're done? Deal breaker?
She would have to have a very. She would have to be extremely.
Would you make her explain why she has an Android?
My mind. No, I know I'm not wrong on this. This is fucking. This is.
He doesn't necessarily want to
insane.
answer.
You're out of your fucking mind, Becky.
That's so random.
I would be very confused. I would be very confused.
How did
I'm
this
confused.
situation occur?
I'm confused right now. You give a shit that much.
It makes the person feel more distant. It makes the person feel more distant. You know how you go on WhatsApp and you can see typing, you can see when it hits their phone, when they read it,
Yeah.
you can see when they're typing. I know it sounds really weird, but this is sex and tech. But when you can see a chat bubble, they can like a message, like whatever. It feels more of a fluid, interactive conversation.
That I can understand, I can get down with, but the fact that I'm also not going to get upset that someone's got green. Vicky, you hear this? You look disgusted, by the way. I'm with you.
Can I get a new seat? I mean, do I have to sit next to him?
I'm with Vicky.
Talk about picky.
Oh my god!
But she is an Android, so she's being biased.
Damn,
I mean,
there's-
Becca just dropped the ball. It derailed the rest of the show.
But that thing where you can see people typing, you see, type, and then 2 minutes later, K.
man.
What the hell were you writing that you deleted?
But K is passive aggressive.
I don't roll with anybody that hits me. If you hit me up with a K,
It's passive aggressive.
I know you're playing games at that point.
Yeah, it's
I ain't got
passive
time for that
aggressive.
horse shit. No, we're adults.
That's your
We're gonna K each other.
That's your version of a green text. Is
Oh.
a K.
No, because they're being dicky. Green text, you're being snobby. That's the difference.
I am?
Oh, big time. Yes.
Anyway, sexting.
No, but I love it that you're passionate and you're not fucking dying. I love you're not dying. You're gonna die on that hill.
Well, by the way, I didn't cook up this opinion on my own. This is conversations that I've had in group,
Other elitists,
no, in
picky
group,
people.
in groupthink.
All right, Denny's. I know you're reading some comments.
a lot of I don't know, man. It's kind of mixed on this.
I told you it was gonna be next.
There's
on.
people backing up Beckett.
Hold
on
on.
this.
So this is the question I want to ask the people, and you can frame it any way you want to, Denny's, for the voting. Would you really not be interested in somebody if they had an Android? I'm talking about the scenario I painted with Beckett, because I asked her point blank. I go, would that be? Yeah, he had some stank towards it. Would that really be a deal breaker for you? I believe in our audience. I don't think it's going to be under 90.
So
percent.
So to be candid, it's not a deal breaker per se, but if I am on a scale of 1 to 10 interested in someone, and I was a 9 interested, and I got green text, I go to a 7.
Wow.
I go to a 7. But I think there's hope I can convert her if we get in a relationship.
So
Yeah,
what
see,
should-
you're
what should I
part
say?
of the
Should I
whole
do you agree with
conspiracy.
Beckett?
No, that's too vague. Would it be a deal breaker for you if somebody had, I guess, an Android?
If it was my unicorn, she had an Android, I'm in.
Well, no, but you're paying the Florida lottery scenario. That don't count.
If I'm very interested in someone and she had an Android, I'm in. That's fine.
But you're probably talking to your buddies on iPhone in a group text. Gosh, you got green. Do you
Oh,
wanna go for-
I'm screenshotting.
Oh my god. Vicky, I say it every day. I'm aging out of Earth, I think. These motherfuckers are agreeing. I can't believe
I'm
it.
telling you, this isn't just me, like at home, like formulating this opinion.
No,
This
I
is
know.
It's a cultural opinion.
Brother, I love this kind of shit. I love it.
It's a subculture.
Look, we all.
It's so funny. I've heard other people say it.
But I get that you are annoyed by it. That I understand. I get all that. You're going to the level of there's a chance it may not work out because of this. You already step in such horse shit if you're the person with the green phone. You have 2 strikes on you no matter what in a Beckett world.
Yeah, well,
You're already starting off at
Yeah.
a disadvantage.
Big time.
we all got to be intellectually honest. Not because how nice or expensive the car is. If someone has a SUV and someone has like a pickup truck that's jacked up and with huge wheels and LED lights that are like downlighting when they park. Some people are going to like the pickup truck person just like more naturally, and some people are going to like the sedan person, right? Like it's more of like what's in there.
It's just a new preference that people can have.
Oh, it's a new preference. That's the way to frame it, Denny's. Wait, is the chat room backing me up? Like,
I don't know, man.
40% of them are backing me up.
I don't know.
You're pretty good with your stats there, Mr.
You're a
Becky.
lightning bolt of controversy, and I
That's the point. We drive conversation here.
and I love it. That's good. we will move on because I know people are like, all right, move on. Let's do some would you rather's, and then we're going to get to the local artist, which is Jessica B. She's got a song coming up in a couple minutes. Would you rather wear a Santa suit for the rest of your life, meaning you can't take it off ever? You are eating in it. You are peeing in it. You're pooping. You're fucking in it. You can never. There's little holes for your holes, but that's it, man.
You can't you shower in it?
Oh wait, yep. You never can take
So
it
you have
off.
to walk around wet for like 5 hours.
For the rest of your life, you wear a tight, uncomfortable Santa outfit, or wake up and have either. Oh wait a minute, hold on. Would you rather, or have a reindeer lick you to the best orgasm of your life?
Reindeer.
Meaning, you now have committed bestiality. You can live with that. You can let a reindeer.
One time?
It's the best. It's the best orgasm
Yeah,
of your
probably
life.
reindeer.
And
Reindeer.
The other one's torture.
Sounds fantastic.
No, but everyone knows about it. So
That's cool.
when you go to sell a house, you're the reindeer father.
Are they allowed to know that it was a would you rather whether
No.
on a podcast
Nope.
and that
They're like, you
Why
chose
do you
it.
waste
I had to
your
wa-
breath?
Thank you.
Waste your breath.
I might just get green texting.
I'm gonna know. That would be a good would you rather.
I don't know, man, because if
I'm going reindeer.
if everyone
Yeah.
knew you were getting blown or eaten out by a reindeer or a deer, plug in your animal. I think people don't want to do business with you. I think it's almost kind of like I don't know. Really? There's a lot of new truths out there that I am.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not hyped, but I'd do it.
Okay.
Well, the other one's
Given the
torture
choices,
for the rest of your
given the
life.
choices, let's just get it over with.
Come Dasher,
Yeah.
come
Vicky?
Prancer.
You're going
I'm
reindeer?
going reindeer. I'm not wearing that stupid Santa suit in Florida.
Yeah,
It is,
terrible.
but it's been filmed and it's also on the internet. It's
I'm
shared.
famous.
That's
Great.
fine.
You're famous.
I'll wear antlers all the time now.
I don't know. I don't think you guys are thinking that one through.
Which one are you doing? Santa suit forever?
Oh no, I'm getting blown by the.
I mean, it's a definite, right? Everybody's picking it.
Would you rather always smell like curdled, rotten eggnog, no matter what you do?
Ugh, no.
Just no matter what you put
A little throwback for Wednesday.
yeah, it's a terrible smell.
Yeah,
I
smell.
saw you throw up a lot of that.
That's true, Denny's. Or anytime somebody in the world takes a swig of eggnog, you get an uncomfortable, awful shooting pain in your butthole.
Oh, no.
Now it's not to the point where you're so out of it, but it's enough to be like, oh fuck, this butthole pain hurts.
Well, it would never stop. I think people drink eggnog all year.
Yeah,
No, they don't.
Yeah, it's mostly during the holidays.
It's a holiday.
You're right. During the holidays,
So you're
you
only
get-
having butthole pain during the
Yeah, but we got
holidays.
You can't
Amazon.
even buy it other times of the year.
Amazon has it.
I'm gonna have to
Well,
go
Amazon
ahead
has
and
everything.
And then if people make it at their house, they're like, you know what? Fuck it. It's
I'm
July.
gonna back up Denny's. We with our American ways think eggnog's just a season. There's people that drink eggnog throughout. I think you're gonna have a lot more butthole pain than you
They have a
think.
short term time on this earth if they drink
if they drink it every day.
eggnog every day.
That's how you end your life.
I mean
quick.
that talk about like clogging your arteries.
No, but what I'm saying is somebody in Mississippi drinks eggnog immediately.
Guaranteed.
Somebody in France, all over the planet, as soon as eggnog touches someone's lips, horrific pain in your butthole. It's about 7 seconds long.
I can go
it's
7 seconds.
Yeah, but imagine France, then somebody in Canada does it. It's 7 seconds butthole pain.
Now it's
seven-
14 seconds.
It's 21 because somebody in Utah drank it.
What was the first choice?
Yeah, I
already
can't
forgot.
remember anymore. What was
You
it?
will always smell like rotting eggnog. No matter
Always?
no matter how much potpourri you spray.
I'm going with the butt pain.
It's bad, Vicky.
I don't care. I don't want to smell like rotten eggnog.
I'm going butt pain.
I'll probably go eggnog. I'll just live in my
Smelling
house.
like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're married.
Yeah, I'm at home.
Yeah, he's
She
good.
can't do anything
That's
now.
the power of marriage.
What? Just not to give a fuck. You
Yeah.
can smell like eggnog,
Yeah.
rotting eggnog.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
kids,
smell
get
like
married. You can smell like rotting
He has an
eggnog.
unusual advantage on this kind of would you rather.
Yeah.
Boy, what a
exactly.
depressing statement about marriage. You can smell like rotting eggnog because, well, hey, you're married.
You got to pay some money.
Vicky,
if she
you're
wants
shaking.
to-
You've disagreed a lot with Beckett in the last 20 minutes.
I want a new seat. I told you that.
Wait, Vicky agreed with me on this would you rather.
On this one, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you pick, Bird?
That's a tough one, man.
You would always have butt pain.
I think I'm going to go butthole pain. Yeah.
You're the only stinky one.
I'll be
Smells
living in
but
a.
because you can still compete with other people. No one's gonna want to be around.
What if you're on a ladder hanging Christmas lights and you get a shooting 7-second butt pain?
I ain't hanging Christmas lights then.
Well, you would never be able. Every time you would wince, anytime you had to do anything where you had to stretch for something.
Every time I'm going to drink some soda.
But anything, it's like
Oh, yeah, it is that kind of butt pain.
The problem is you could never get married if you smelled horrible. You would never 69.
You
It would be
definitely
a
wouldn't.
huge problem. Would you take 7 seconds of butt pain to be able to still 69 for the rest of your life?
But I think you think it's just 7 seconds, and it's not. It's a lot
No,
more.
I know. I was trying to prove my point. So I was like,
it's gonna be. So
I was being a
nuts,
sales
though.
guy.
Bottom line is this. I think, I'm pro 69. All right. And then would you rather have a threesome? And kids, if you are listening,
Someone always gets left out.
it's time to turn the volume down.
All right.
If you are listening, kids. Would you rather have a threesome
All right.
with Santa and Mrs. Claus? Hey.
Yeah. Ho ho.
Or, keep in mind, the sex is just okay. It's not the best sex. It's kind of like,
Did you expect it to be good?
We've all seen Santa. None of us thought it was gonna be stellar.
When it's bad and you're unsatisfied, just go over to the reindeer.
He does have. I hear they look good.
They lick, yeah.
Or, instead of doing that threesome with, the Clauses, would you rather receive. Oh, man, damn it. Okay, or would you rather have a threesome with Lucy and Charlie Brown? Of age, of course. Of age.
Oh yeah.
Why are you
I
looking at
agree.
me?
If we were in Peanuts,
I know why you are.
Snoopy's in the corner. He's cuckolding the whole thing.
Woodstock's there too.
Of course. I feel like Lucy would be kind of mean
Yeah.
on a dominatrix level.
I just want to know what it's like to have sex with cartoons. Like, that would be awesome.
So would we become a Peanuts character cartoon?
No, you're real the whole time.
Oh,
They're
it's
cartoon.
fantastic. It's like Roger Rabbit sex.
Vicky?
Yeah, but it's like Roger Rabbit
You-
having sex with Roger Rabbit.
Vicky looks.
Not any of the-
she's just so disappointed in Becky.
I'm just trying to figure it out. Like the logistics. I think I'm going to go Peanuts. The name's promising.
yeah.
I'm going Peanuts.
Daddy's.
I'm doing the clauses, right?
I'm doing the clauses.
Put
man.
on that naughty list.
That's what I'm saying. Magic, dude. Santa's magical.
They were old.
Get some elves in there.
Damn, age shaming now, Becky.
But you've had sex with humans, but you've never had sex with cartoons.
It's a good. He does bring
You're
up a good
right.
point. But I've never had sex with magical people with magical powers. That's kind of cool. I've never had sex with somebody who can fly a fucking sleigh.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty magical.
But they're a cartoon. They can do whatever they want.
I'd
They
imagine-
can fall off a cliff and survive.
Just because Santa's got a belly, I'd imagine he's got magical dick, right? No.
We don't know.
No,
he could be a
he's not
eunuch.
gonna
You
be
don't even
great.
know.
He's not going to be great.
You don't think? So you're going on record saying.
I really would be shocked if Santa was good at sex. Wow. Not that I think people talk about this often, but
Again, kids, turn it down. Don't listen to this. All right, y'all. I think it's time. Oh, anything to plug? Anybody at the end before I get into the local songwriter?
No, the only thing that I would say is I was blessed enough to be an ambassador for Brightline. I was talking all about it. I thought it was the most amazing thing. And it's changed my life, going down to Miami back and forth. And I took my nephew to Polar Express in Miami. So for all the listeners, if you're in South Florida, the Polar Express, it's like a Disney production. It was absolutely amazing. As a result of being an ambassador, you have discount code RyanB10, which is 10% discount off any of your Brightline normal rides, by the way, for any of the audience
wow.
that wants to take it anywhere. They just opened up Aventura and Boca stations today.
I love it, Becky.
Good stuff.
Wow.
Good
That's
stuff.
great
So
stuff.
Ryan B10 if anyone wants 10% discount on Brightline.
Wow, I'm gonna
Good
use your code.
Look at
Go
you.
for it.
You're a fucking sweetheart. That's great. I love it.
Saving the-
I do, before we get to the local songwriter, I wanted to play this one clip of this little 5-year-old girl. If you're feeling stressed out and you just kind of like we were talking about, you know, get stressed out with life, holidays are coming up. This 5-year-old girl kind of says it all about stress and how you should handle your problems.
You don't have to worry about on Monday. Just today has enough worries of its own. That's what God says.
So what do? I just concentrate on today?
You just worry. You just worry about everything's what. You just worry about what is going on today.
I mean,
That's great.
Well said.
kind of just worry about what's going on in the now today, right?
It's great
I
stuff.
love it. This is Jessica B. She's a local songwriter. This is a song called Freedom. Again, the cool thing is, I said last week, I'm not getting any hip hop. I got some hip hop coming in. So we're going to, at the beginning of the new year, we're going to start getting some hip hop on here as well. But I don't care what kind of music you write. I don't give a shit if it's ragtime, if it's polka. If you're a songwriter, send it to me, please. I am getting a lot of submissions now. So just stay patient if you have not heard your song yet. This is Jessica B. This is the song Freedom. We love you all, and
Bigfoot is real.
They will try and bring it down in all walks of life. You may fall from it more than just once or twice. You can take the liberty of living your life. They won't have a chance at you, 'cause this is your fight. So push on, be strong, never let them know it hurts. Fight through, be true, the freedom lies in you. So come on now. When the walls crash down and you can't break through, gotta fight your pain, I believe in you. Keep your head above, there's a light on you. Sometimes it takes pain just to know your truth, yeah. I don't need to show you, freedom is the answer. Out of this disaster, it lies deep inside of you. So when you're feeling down and low, like the world is caving in on you, don't be scared to feel it all. It's the only way to break through. Sometimes the skies appear and serve as a reminder. That's when you know you're healed, and now you're all the wiser. So push on, be strong, never let them know it hurts. Fight through, be true, the freedom lies in you. So come on when now. The walls crash down and you can't break through, gotta fight your pain, I believe in you. Keep your head above, there's a light on you. Sometimes it takes pain just to know your truth, yeah. I don't need to show you, freedom is the answer. This disaster, it lies deep inside of you. Yeah. So push on.